Hey guys, this is Averilian from the US Clan Cobalt. I'm just going to do a quick guide over how to use your library experience. And all I'm going to do is just reset my points here and just show you basically if you're going to start building your tower, how you would want to build that. I'm going to assume that you're starting from tower level 1 and building from there. Now, not all of these are obviously unlocked when you start off. The second star tier is unlocked at tower level 75, whereas the third star is unlocked at tower level 150. We're going to assume that you just started and go from here. So first off, most important, you want to increase your experience because that's going to let you be able to build your experience points faster, and this will let you be able to focus and increase your tower level from that. So second thing, you want to increase the amount of gold you get. All your units and upgrades, your tower upgrades, everything's done based on gold. Whether or not you have pro or if you don't have pro, that's essential. Secondary, we're actually going to jump up to our 2-star. Hopefully you'll be able to unlock it at this point. And we're going to increase our gold that is mined from seized castles. Now, unexpectedly, the castles, once they are fully upgraded and you have this perk, those castles gift a ton of gold that are very helpful for the duration of your time playing this game. So next off, at this point in time, you're probably going to be dealing with some pretty serious waves, and we want to be able to mitigate that. So we're going to increase your tower strength. Also, at this point, whether or not you've actually made it to tower level 150, more than likely, after maxing out 4 points, you more than likely have gotten there. So we're going to assume that you have and go ahead and increase our archer damage. Most builds will build a archer build. That's basically what I'm building and what most people build. That's the current meta, just because there's so many archers that are just ridiculously broken at being able to kill a lot of enemies all at once. Especially if you want to spend your money and just $5 gives you light archer, and light archer is just crazy good at being able to take down mass amounts of units in a small space, and also be able to give you defense because he can spawn 5 archers with his active ability. So from here, we want to be able to create those active abilities and be able to use them more often. So we're going to increase the reload of our active abilities. That 15% makes it to where our crowd control and summoners are able to spawn their abilities more often. That lets your units be able to tackle a lot more serious threats. Now, from here, we're going to get our units' attack speed increase. So that lets our main damage dealing units, which is probably going to be archers, be able to attack more frequently and be able to get that damage out there quicker. And from there, we're also going to do our unit range increase. So killing mobs, killing units, you want to be able to start that killing as far away from the tower as possible so that you can let the crowd control units, normally going to be your mages such as Air Mage and the Mad Archmage, be able to deal as much damage as possible. Now, from here, we want to also be able to increase our archers' damage by increasing their crit. Now, your archers, especially, not only archers, but especially archers, your light archer, northern archer, your anything else that runs off of crit damage, you want to be able to expand that damage once they pop a crit. So when you're building a statue, make sure you highlight the chance of crit and your crit hit damage. And by increasing this by 150%, makes a huge amount of difference in the amount of damage that you deal overall. Now, from here, we're going to make a couple different moves, especially we're actually going to finish off doing the active skill damage. You can do this first, or you can do mage damage. I choose to do active skill damage first because there's a little bit of a spike over overall mage damage by doing active skills first over the mage damage itself. They're not equal. You actually get more damage by doing the active skills damage first, and then you can do mages if you want to. From here, we're actually going to focus on the individual unit damage modifiers. So which one of these do you start first? Big question. In my opinion, you want to start goblins, because goblins will swarm with the most amount of units, and their bosses have a higher than average amount of health. From there, you want to move to undead. Undeads really aren't that big of a deal. Their medium units have higher health than normal, and there's a couple bosses that are just extremely hard to deal with on certain boss stages. There's a couple that just, they won't die. They're immune to any kind of slowing or basic stun effects, or they have half resistance on stun effects. So next you want to do horde and then bandits. Bandits really aren't that bad. Worst thing about bandits is probably going to be the trebuchets. So you don't really have to focus on them nearly as much at first. Now, from here, we're going to forget tier 3, and we're going to forget, for the most part, tier 2, and just finish off tier 1, because the lifespan of summon creatures and the health of summon creatures are critical. Normally, when you build a tower, you want to have your main units, your main 8 units, and you want to have an alternate unit that you can switch out for while one of yours is being upgraded in the training facility. So, for example, like myself, this is my current build, but when I was building mainly, I normally switched out with a Warlock, or a Valkyrie, depending on the wave. But switching them out allowed me to have a little bit more sustainability in the wave, so I could still progress while I'm still leveling up one of my main damage dealers, or support characters, or crowd control characters. That lets me be able to survive a little bit longer while still being able to progress and upgrade my characters at the same time. Now, tier 1 is done. Check off. We're good to go. From here, we're going to focus on mainly modules and summon creatures. Turrets don't really do any damage, and the attack speed is unnecessary. And as far as throwers go, the only thrower that you would actually probably use is going to be Zeus, and even then, his damage really isn't that good. So at this point, we're going to focus on the damage by modules, and the attack speed of modules. Probably actually would do that one first, because your top module is more than likely going to be the arcane cannon, and that's going to give you a stun, so you want to be able to use that stun more often. So module attack speed. From here, you want to do creature damage and then creature attack speed. And then after this, we're going to do thrower damage on the 3rd tier, because some people might want to run a Zeus or something else that might be a thrower. This is based on the unit. This is the app update at 1.11. So these are the current experience points that we have now that we can actually choose to use. And those are the current units that are out that you can use. The only unit that I have bought is, well, 2 units, is the Light Archer and the Moon Mage. And I regret buying the Moon Mage. It does not do much. But that's basically it. That's going to give you as much as you can in a pretty good order, on focusing on what you need first. Yeah, but if you have any questions, just message me in Discord. Otherwise, hope you all have a good day.